It's the pinnacle of the Bowl Championship Series at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona, where the #1 Tennessee Volunteers and the #2 Florida State Seminoles will battle for college football's ultimate prize in the 1999 Fiesta Bowl. Let's join commentators Keith Jackson and Bob Greasy with history in the making, right here on ESPN Classic.
So let us take a deep breath and wait for this game, because it is the inaugural college football championship game. There will be three more of these, a total of 4 to be played, and each year there will be some tweaking in the selection process, and eventually who knows what may happen. But for 4 of these events, you're looking at and having gone through the kind of seasons that you will have to determine the 2 teams to meet in your championship game. And as I said when we first came on, it's hard to argue against these 2 teams being here tonight.
They got the right to, Keith. There was a lot of criticism, a lot of talk down the road about the BCS, and when the dust settled at the end of the season, we got the 2 teams that should be here.
As I told you, it is a Pac-10 group of officials, and here is that big old 252-pound place kicker for Florida State. One of these days, he's going to kick one plumb out of the stadium. Sebastian Janikowski. Fearless Price is the man waiting for it. He is a wideout, and he can take it the other way in a breath. The game is on. Well into the end zone, no return. Tennessee ball, first down at the 20. The Tostitos starting lineup for the Tennessee Volunteers across the front. Left tackle Chad Clifton and right guard Cozy Coleman, both at 315 pounds. They're the big guys. The wide receiving core, very definitely an offensive strength here. Price, Copeland, Cedric Wilson. The backs, Travis Henry and Travis Stevenson, man the position tailback or the deep back very well. Jamal Lewis, as you all know, went down with a knee and was out for the season. The fullback, Sean Bryson, is a very good football player. And so here we go out of the eye. T. Martin had a great year. Ball is handed off to the tailback, Travis Henry, who comes from frost-proof Florida, and he slams over the right side and runs into a very hard object called the Florida State defense. Along the front, tackles are the disruptors. They lost veteran Larry Smith to a knee injury. Corey Simon, AP All-American, started just 3 games. The linebacking core not as dominant as times past, but they are good. And the defensive secondary, you can, I think, expect Tennessee to attack the corners. It'll be 2nd down and 9. And to the outside, and a driving tackle takes Martin down. T. Martin taken down by free safety Dexter Jackson, who is number 2 on the team in tackles. That means he's aggressive and hangs out around the line of scrimmage.
For sure, Keith. T. Martin, making his 13th start of the year, runs an option on the 2nd play of the game. Keep that in mind. That'll tell you something. T has not thrown an interception. Well, he's thrown 2 in the last 179, but he is very stingy when he throws the ball to the other side.
He's a big guy. He's 6'3", 220 pounds. And on 3rd down and long, drops to throw and whips it to the near side for Cedric Wilson. And it is incomplete. Take Cody covering on the play. And so Tennessee goes 3 and out. And here comes the subject of special teams, Bob Greasy.
Well, if there's an advantage in this ball game, Florida State has a little bit of advantage on special teams. Peter Warwick and Coles, 2 outstanding return men, as is Durden right here.
Reggie Durden, number 1, 5'9", 175-pound junior. The punt is away. And there's a penalty flag as the punter is knocked down. Durden with some room to work gets it back on the Tennessee side of the field. He's dancing down the sidelines, and he hit the chalk at the 29-yard line. But remember, there's a penalty flag back over here. The kicker was knocked down. Troy Sanders came in and tumbled him, and that's what brought the flag out of the pocket.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker. Against the defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Florida State aggressively going after Leverton. Leverton's had some problems. I don't know how badly that was, if we could see that from a different angle. But Leverton certainly went down. Leverton has had some problems punting the ball in the last couple of ball games. He's undecided.
That penalty flag, Bob wiped out a 29-yard return, too.
Yeah.
And field position.
Well, Bob and Keith, I was standing on the sideline. I watched it. David Leverton might have had a little problem in terms of his distance, but he had no problem faking being hit because he was barely touched.
That was that good acting job, huh, Lynn?
Absolutely.
But it's a first down for the Volunteers as the ball comes out to the 37-yard line, and T. Martin lets it go to the sidelines. And the pass is completed to Peerless Price, and Price is going to have the ball on the Florida State side of the field at about the 39-yard line.
That little roughing the punter penalty has turned the momentum around here real quickly. It gives T. Martin and the Vols another chance to come in and play offense. Go down and out, man coverage. And T kind of gets to the sideline, relaxed a little bit, came out and threw a real good throw.
24-yard pickup on it, and they're doing just what you thought they would, attack the corner.
Got to go with the corners.
This is the tailback, Travis Henry. A stocky fellow, and he slams in there for the better part of 5 yards. Demetro Stevens, the middle linebacker, brought him down. They're not going to give him all of it. They're going to put it down on the 36-yard line.
The Seminoles defensively, Keith, they get after you pretty good. Here they are in the nation. They lead the nation in total defense and pass defense. They're second against the run and in scoring defense, averaging only 11.5 points per game. It's just tough to get anything against this group.
Call it second down and a long 5 out of the shotgun now. It's a new set. Martin back. He'll take off with it and pick up the first down and then some. They finally take him out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Dexter Jackson made the tackle. There's nothing timid in T. Martin. He'll take you on and sometimes run over you.
T. Martin reads the coverage out here and over here, and he knows it's man coverage. When it's man coverage, there's nobody covering the quarterback. The linebackers go out with the backs. Nobody is covering the quarterback. It's like a quarterback draw from the shotgun position.
I've got some bad news for Florida State. Jerry Johnson is off the field. He was shaken up. Billy Rhodes comes in and goes into a down position. They've already lost Larry Smith, 2 of the best tackles in the country and 2 prime disruptors in that Florida State defense. But they handle Travis Henry without Johnson on that play very well. He's down just about the line of scrimmage. Tonight, ABC brings you First and 10, the gold-colored line that looks painted on the field actually being electronically generated by us. It's a visual reference for you, the viewer, so you can know the yard line and where an offense must reach for its first down.
I like it a lot.
You just lazy.
I like to know how far they got to go to get a first down.
Ball is inside the 15 and down to the 13-yard line with Sean Bryson, the fullback, getting a carry.
T. Martin's under a lot of pressure tonight, but also Randy Sanders, the new offensive coordinator. He was the running backs coach. There's Randy up in the press box. In fact, he's right next to our booth. This is a new spot for him. He's usually on the sidelines. He's been an assistant coach at Tennessee for several years. He was a quarterback there. First time in the booth calling the plays.
And Jerry Johnson is back in at tackle for Florida State. T. Martin turns and goes to Henry, and Henry is knocked down behind the line of scrimmage as David Warren, number 99, came blowing in like a ball and pine and got him.
Well, this Florida State defense, Keith, and David Warren is a backup defensive end. Mickey Andrews, the coordinator, will play a lot of players. A little twist there. The defensive tackle goes out. The defensive end, Warren, comes in right into the hole where the runner is.
And the loss is back out near the 17-yard line. Here's the field goal try now by Jeff Hall. Jeff Hall, who's going to hit this one from 32 yards. He is 19 of 24 this season. And it is no good. And that is rare from 32 yards, and Jeff Hall doesn't put it down the pipe.
Football, Ravens, Lions, tonight 8:25 Eastern on ESPN.
T. Martin is, you know, I think he's had a great year, Keith, following Peyton Manning and all the things that they did last year. And T steps in, and they don't lose a beat. They don't. The first 4 games were a little bit slow, and the last 8 games, well, it's been his team. But this is a different breed of defense that they're going up here against tonight. There haven't been many quarterbacks that have been successful or look good against the Seminole defense.
Bartholomew and Henry in the backfield for Tennessee now. Martin back to throw it, pumps it, now lets it go, and he's got a man. He's complete to Peerless Price. Big play for Price. He's out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Run down by Sean Key.
That's what you got to do. You got to attack them on the outside. They're so aggressive.
76 yards, Bob.
They get 8 or 9 guys in here to stop your run. And look out here. You got one-on-one. He's just going to run a hook and go. Little play action in the backfield. Watch Peerless Price does a little look and go. If you beat Florida State, you got to beat them outside where you can get big plays. You're not going to take 10, 12 plays down the field. You can get some big plays, and Peerless Price can make them.
First down, Tennessee. Florida State 12-yard line. The ball goes to Travis Henry. And he might have 1 yard, no more. Here's 20.
Well, Keith, all evening in this ball game, the defensive backs have been coming up on Peerless Price. He's coming inside. The safety will come over and try and get an extra pop on him. And he has just been phenomenal. Look at the numbers he brings into the ball game. 61 receptions. You'll recall at the SEC Championship game, it was tough going for Tennessee. They weren't getting anything working on offense. Then, with only minutes to go on the end of the 4th quarter, it was Price who comes up with a big play for the touchdown.
A nice call by Randy Sanders, first play of the drive.
Martin keeps on 2nd down and 9, and it's going to be 3rd down and 9 as we close in on the final seconds of the first quarter of play. There's no score in the first quarter. ABC Sports presentation of the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl will continue. On the 11-yard line, it is 3rd down, and Bill Fulmer anxious now. Nobody has scored in the ball game. He would be tickled to death to get his team on the scoreboard first, and they've got a great opportunity here to handle the ball. They'll take 3 if they have to. 3rd down and 9 on the Florida State 11. They try the middle, and there's a good solid hit on Sean Bryson, the fullback. And they're sitting, waiting for Jeff Hall to come on the field and go for the field goal.
That tells me that Phil on the sideline says, well, let's get a good running play, see if we can make the first down. And if not, I want to come out of here with at least 3 points.
Jeff Hall's miss from 33 yards, they now say, broke his string of 8 consecutive field goals.
Yeah, it was a shocker for him to miss. We've got 2 of the best field goal kickers in the nation here.
Benson Scott holding. It's a 24-yard try. It's good. And there's a flag. There's a flag. Dexter Jackson came flying in, and let's see what the call is. There's some very old truths in the game. One is don't take points off the scoreboard. The other is don't rough the kicker.
Well, you may see something here, Coach. It's like the offense is coming back on the field.
It does, doesn't it?
Personal foul, roughing the kicker. The penalty is accepted. Field goal is taken off the board. It's an automatic first down for Tennessee.
Bill Richardson said the words, we're taking the points off the board. Here's a look.
Oh, that's a little picky.
The thinking is there's a kicker with 1 foot in the air. You got to protect him.
It's almost an automatic call.
Yeah.
If that foot's off the ground.
Yeah. Almost.
Safety. That's what it's there for.
That's true. That's the total judgment of the referee, and he's made 2 judgment calls on kicks.
Here are the Volunteers inside the 5-yard line. 1st and goal to go on the 4. Hand the ball off. A little flip pass into the end zone. Is it? No, it's not caught. Bounced. So they're trying a little something fancy with Travis Henry, and he didn't get enough air onto the ball, and it cost him a touchdown. John Finlayson, the tight end, was the fella in the end zone trying to make the catch.
I think this shows you the respect that Phil Fulmer and Randy Sanders has. A little quick handoff and then a little quick push. Finlayson's only caught 4 passes this year.
He was wide open.
I don't know if Henry hasn't thrown more than 1 or 2.
Didn't look like it.
He's trying to sell it.
Martin passes away. Passes caught. Touchdown. Sean Bryson, the fullback.
Well, Hoss, what were you saying about taking points off the board? That old homily or that old saying?
Well, you don't rough the kicker and give him a 1st and goal on the 4-yard line either.
I'd done the same thing. I'd taken him off.
Absolutely. Seven to nothing, the Tennessee Volunteers leading number 2 Florida State. Tennessee, of course, coming in ranked number 1 in the country. Key plays on that drive of 88 yards. Obviously, the big one on the pass to Peerless Price of 76 yards, the longest play of the year for Tennessee. And then roughing the kicker, Dexter Jackson has been nailed twice now for fouls that have been very expensive.
And there were 2 close calls, but I think the second one with the field goal kicker, I think that's a legitimate call because his foot was in the air, and that led to the touchdown.
Jeff Hall will kick it off. Lavernus Coles and Peter Warwick are waiting. They can take it the other way quickly. This is a good kick, carrying well back into the end zone, and Warwick will not return it.
Let's go back to the touchdown. The receiver here is going to go in motion in that upfield. The man that's going to catch it is the fullback, Bryson, as the quarterback, Martin, kind of rolls this way, buys himself some time. Fullback slides out into the route, and Dexter Jackson appeared to be the coverage guy, and right there, Randy Sanders, that's the first touchdown of his offensive coordinator as University of Tennessee.
Yeah, I'll bet he feels better. At least he hadn't cracked the glass.
We had one do that this year.
So it's 1st down, Florida State. Those are just beating themselves right now, actually. Outson back, gets it in the air. The pass downfield is caught by Dugan. So Marcus Outson hits Ron Dugans down just short of midfield, and it's 1st down, Florida State.
These 2 defenses are going to shut down your run, and they're going to play man coverage on the outside, and your receivers are going to have one-on-one. He was covered, but Outson just threw it out there, and Dugan saw it, came back for it, and made the play.
You got to put the ball up in the air like that and give the receiver a chance to make a play.
Exactly, and that was almost like an underthrow intentionally.
So 1st down from the 49 as Warwick goes in motion. They've managed to handle Peter so far tonight. Outson puts it over there, and that's picked off, and that's going to be 6. It's Dwayne Goodrich, touchdown. Well, Florida State is clearly on record. They're going to do everything they can to get the ball into the hands of Peter Warwick. We were told that Dwayne Goodrich would be his shadow through much of the night. They threw the ball to Warwick. Goodrich intercepted it and went 54 yards for the second touchdown. And so just bang, bang, Tennessee is out to a 2-touchdown lead. Jeff Hall for the point. Benson Scott will hold it. He hooks it, but he gets it in.
Extreme training means extreme.
Well, we said there'd be some big plays in this game defensively, and there was one. Marcus Outson, you know, when you're in a situation where you're going in and just relieving for somebody, you don't have to win it by yourself. Just don't lose it. And those types of throws and interceptions for returns can lose it for your team.
As Mr. Goodrich. Lavernus Coles and Reggie Durden are waiting now for Florida State. Jeff Hall will kick it off. This one can be returned by Durden from the 6. Looking for a crack, looking for some help. Goes back into the corner and gets caught by the pursuit at the 30-yard line.
Let's go back to the interception. Here's the plan for Florida State. All this area out here, let's get our All-American wide receiver out here on an out route. Motion, single coverage. The ball is thrown late and short. You can't do that on an outside route.
Well, Bob, I think whenever you have a receiver like that and you're trying to get the ball, sometimes you force it in. He never got Goodrich to turn his shoulders. Goodrich was in perfect position. Outson should have never thrown the ball.
Outson now back, hands the ball to Travis Minor, and Minor slashes over at the right side, and coming up out of the secondary is Fred White, number 2, to get the first contact. Gain on the play is about a yard.
All right, here's our Nokia team comparison. See Tennessee with big passing yardage. Florida State not doing much of anything except being penalized and hurting themselves. Tennessee taking advantage of the interception.
Second down and 9. Minor again. The defense has just eaten him up. Number 58, Darwin Walker, defensive tackle, was the first man to get him by the pockets. Billy Ratliff then came in to help him, and between the two of them, it was a mismatch.
Bobby can't be real happy with the play of his team. Special teams, which were a plus coming in, hurting him, and then the inexperience at quarterback. And the question is, can you win a championship with a third-string quarterback? And they need to get the ball to their All-American wide receiver Warwick.
Well, there was nothing down there. Tennessee just swung in the shotgun. Raynock Thompson was the first man to get there. And the Seminoles do look very healthy right now.
Good pass rush by the defensive front for the Volunteers. Did a nice job of containing him, keep the rush upfield so he can't get outside the rush. He looks to run, and there's no cracks, no places to go, and the sack.
Eric Parker is waiting for Tennessee. The punt is out of there by Cottrell. It's a beauty. It's over his head. I think he might have lost sight of it. Now he catches it inside the 20, and he is decked at about the 22-yard line. Robert Morgan.
Women.
Not be surprised. T. Martin hands the ball to Travis Henry. And the Tennessee Volunteers, who came in ranked number 1 in the country. Last time Tennessee had an undefeated football season was 1938. Last time they were voted a national championship on a consensus basis was 1951. Bill Fulmer, 66-11 in his 7 seasons over there.
I think offensively, Randy Sanders may play a little bit close to the vest right here.
2nd down and 8. No play as the flag stopped it, the whistle stopped it, and T. Martin slammed the ball between his hands, and that means probably false start, or else they burned the clock. They burned the clock, and instead of taking the 5-yard penalty, they called a timeout.
Look at Randy Sanders making his first trip to the booth where he's calling the plays. You know, Keith, it's not the same being in the booth as it is on the sideline. He says, I liked it on the sideline. He says, I liked looking at their eyes when they come over to the sideline.
He and Martin had a lot of conversations on the sidelines. They became good friends, so that's not a problem.
They kind of grew up together. You know, Peyton Manning and David Cutcliffe were kind of the item, and then T. Martin and Randy Sanders.
That's Pat Washington standing there with him now, and Pat Washington is now playing the role that Randy Sanders used to play when Cutcliffe was upstairs. But I'll give you the case of, and probably the fellow who could give you the best truthful story about the change in your life when you have to start calling plays and be the man is Frank Solich out of Nebraska. Because Frank had to step in and do what Tom Osborne had been doing, calling the plays, and to find the rhythm and get all of that going and keep it together. Folks, it's hard. 2nd down and 8. Down the middle, intercepted. Gibson out of bounds, just short of the goal line. Derek Gibson. Bad things can happen when you throw it high down the middle.
Well, he had success earlier doing the play action and then hitting him over the top. He's going to hit the post. He doesn't see the safety coming back into the middle of the field. Play action, they had a lot of time to talk about this play on the sideline. It's the safety that comes back. He had the corner beat, but he never saw Gibson coming back.
Gibson, 6'2", a sophomore out of Miami.
If the Seminoles are going to win this thing, the defense has to lead the way.
It is 1st down and goal, Florida State at the Tennessee 3-yard line. The Tennessee defense is not a gimme, believe me. Travis Minor.
Did he
that's
get
a
hit?
lick. I mean to tell you that Al Wilson put some lumber on him.
Tell you, Wilson and Raynoch Thompson, those two linebackers are as good as a pair as you'll find in this country. Whitaker, 68, gets out and gets a block, but Westmoreland is there along with the other two linebackers.
Gained a yard, hardest yard Travis Minor's probably ever gained in his life. Boy, he took a lick, but he did his job. Stay inside with it. I don't see any striped shirts, arms reaching for the sky. William McCray. So they have a couple of fullbacks in there now with Glenn and McCray and Minor, the tailback. And they put the ball now.
Bobby's telling him, don't take it to 4th down. Let's get it in here.
That's about a foot away. Well, they keep that same alignment with two fullbacks there. Glenn's lined up on the other side. Hand it back inside. Ball's loose.
I think he fumbled it.
Loose. Nope. Man over here on this side says it's a touchdown. William McCray went into the pile with it. I saw the ball pop up. But the official on this side, the linesman, had both of his arms up.
Keith, I'm standing right on the goal line. He was stopped short of the touchdown, but he was stopped short and had the wherewithal just to take the ball out, and he stuck it over the goal line. That's when the official raised his hand.
That's when
he
it came
scored
loose.
The touchdown. Then they knocked it loose.
Good
he got
call.
the touchdown.
Good call.
It's a good call. Yep. He did reach out, had possession of the ball, stuck it over the goal line, and that's when they slapped it loose. So the linesman on this side saw it and called it. That probably would be Jay Strickerts or Charles Zubin.
Take a look at this. Look at the linebackers going over the top. This is a good play. Look at him going early, and the fullback goes underneath him, and then right there sticks it out across the line.
And then they slap it out.
And then they slap it away.
Yep. The rest of the officials, the umpires, Walt Wolf, Jay Strickerts, the head linesman, Matt Gilchrist is the field judge, Colin McDermott is the side judge, Buddy Horton is the back judge, and the alternate is Dave Kataya. So the Noles get on the scoreboard. We're waiting for the extra point try from Janikowski. The score comes with 8:59 to play in the first half. It's been a very sloppy football game.
Well, when you have defenses this strong, you're going to have sloppy play.
Right.
2 touchdowns now have been generated by mistakes from the offenses.
Watch this leg. This is 250 pounds of fury. There's a when he approaches the ball, he almost attacks it, but that's going to be a penalty flag against Florida State, I think. Looked like Donald Heaven might have wiggled, but he won't bother this guy. That's a record. We've had 2 fouls called tonight, simple little fouls, but they happen inside, where sometimes it's kind of hard to see it. Normally the umpire's the guy that gets that call.
Yeah.
But been a ton of laundry on the 2. He pops it. It's partially blocked and hits the crossbar and is no good.
That's dead ball.
It's a dead ball.
It's a bad snap.
Bad snap.
Bad snap.
Never got it up.
So I tell you what, nothing is going to farm here tonight. Anything that can go wrong is going wrong. Peter Warwick has returned punts for Florida State off and on throughout the year. And I think Bobby's just using him a little sparingly. Doesn't want to get him hurt. But he's going to take this one.
Yeah, he's coming now.
Yep. Pete says, Durden hit the sideline there, boy. I'll take this one.
Steve Feaster, who did some of the kick returning, in fact was the primary kick returner, is not with the team now. So Peter Warwick standing up near the 35-yard line, waiting for Leverton's punt. That's a better kick. Peter has to go back to the 23. 3 guys. He got away from 3, 4, 5. 6th one got him. Leverton, the punter, finally made the tackle.
And that's why we keep looking for Warwick to return these punts.
47-yard punt, 51-yard return.
The first move is the best. Watch from behind. He's going to have 3 orange shirts right in front of him. 3 of them right in front of him. This shot may be too tight. You see 2 of them, and he just... You don't teach this.
Well, Bob, I noticed when Reggie Durden was in there, he'd catch a punt, and he kind of hesitated. He make one move and wasn't decisive. Look how decisive Peter Warwick is. He makes up his mind, then there's a burst of speed. He goes for it, Keith.
Outson on first down. throws a bullet to the outside to Dugans. It is caught. Gain is not very big, but the pass is complete. And any completed forward pass right now is going to help Marcus Outson's confidence.
I think Peter Warwick is the most dangerous wide receiver in college football today. Not only is the speed, but his running ability after he catches the ball.
From the 20, second down, call it 3, and the right side, the right tackle, Ross Brannon, broke. False start. So that's a 5-yard penalty.
Both flags for the dead ball. False start by the offense.
Oh, it's a mistake. It's a little thing. It's 5 yards. It's a nickel. But if you get enough nickels, first thing you know, you got a quarter, and then you got a heavy sack, and you ain't going anywhere.
Oh, it's been fun.
What have they got now? 6 penalties, 7 penalties, 6 penalties. Wow. 25-yard line.
Peter Warwick is being shadowed by Dwayne Goodrich, number 23, who intercepted a pass and ran it back for a touchdown early in the ball game.
Second down and 8 now. Outson takes off on a quarterback draw. Finds some daylight in the middle. Takes a little abuse from Darwin Walker as he's taken down at the 15-yard line.
Darwin Walker is a defensive nose tackle that caught Marcus Outson from behind.
But he got a first down.
Yeah, this is a little option play like a sweep. I mean, that's just a great play. I mean, he had running room in front of him. And look outside, Warwick, number 9. It's a running play, so he's not running very hard. But there were a lot of orange shirts out there. They had 3 wide receivers.
Timeout now called by Florida State. That'll be their first timeout of the ball game.
Pay attention.
Here's the circumstance. There are all the vitals right in front of you. 14-6 Tennessee lead. The time remaining in the first half of play. It is first down for Florida State, just short of the Tennessee 15-yard line. And for the first time tonight, you sense that the momentum may be changing a little bit. But it's been a defense, despite the fact you've had that one big play, primarily it's been defense so far in this game. So the nose will go with the tailback, Minor. He's searching for any kind of a crack, and he finally finds about 2 yards worth near the sideline.
It was a fake reverse to Warwick, Peter Warwick, hoping that they'd take some Warwick would take some volunteer defenders with him, but didn't work out that way. That's Overstreet, a true freshman, doing a nice job keeping the containment, forcing it back in.
You know, out of the 90 players that Bobby Bowden brought here, Overstreet kind of hobbled a bit. Only 10 of them seniors. Minor now has 9 carries in the game for 37 yards. Outson back. Throws it. Completes it. Warwick. And Peter steps out of bounds a yard short of the first down marker. Over there covering was Goodrich. And Goodrich has been his shadow tonight.
It's a nice route by Pete Warwick this time. He comes down. He's going to salve a slant and get Goodrich to really jump inside. And Outson does a nice job on the run, get the ball outside.
It is third down and 1 for the first down. The ball is just a bit inside the 7-yard hash mark. Lamar, Glenn, and William McQuay join Minor in the backfield now for the Seminoles. That's Glenn in motion. Outson, the quarterback, keeps it. Trying to get some offensive line surge, but Tennessee went under it, and it'll be close. If you can get under the pads defensively, you can hold that up, and Tennessee almost succeeded, in fact may have.
You think the defenses haven't been dominant, Keith? On third down conversions, there's only been one third down conversions in 11 that the two teams have attempted. Tennessee is 0 of 5, and Florida State is 1 of 6. Now they're 1 of 7.
Nervous time, hard time, tough time for that man, Mark Richt.
Well, he's not making this call.
No, that man is.
Bobby's deciding, but he's asking Rick. He says, Mark, what's your best play? What would you run? What would you run if we went for it? But Bobby makes the call.
Well, they gained some, but they didn't gain the whole yard. Warwick is out of there right now. They want a timeout from the sidelines.
Good use of a timeout. Take your time. Figure out your best play. What do you want to do?
So Florida State, obviously, they weren't in total agreement on exactly how they wanted to carry this out, so they'll take some time now and talk.
They have been dominant, I would say. I mean, some of the stuff that Bobby has hung up has been pretty. That bowl record, he just has a knack of knowing how to do things to get teams ready to play in bowls. And one of the things he does, he practices very hard, Keith. In fact, they were scrimmaging the other day and lost their
one of their best tackles,
Larry Smith, one of their best defensive linemen. But he says if we didn't practice hard, maybe we would have had Larry Smith, but we wouldn't have won the game.
Bobby's got the whole offensive team right there around him, and he is selling, folks. I'll guarantee you, if you ever wanted to see a salesman working, you just saw one.
Hey, two things he can do: recruit and motivate.
That's right. If they don't get this first down, give Tennessee credit. They would have made one hell of a defensive stand. Outs and dives, and he's at the 5-yard line, and that's enough. Tennessee saying we got the ball, and he had that thing pretty out there like a loaf of bread or a head of cabbage, and they were slapping at it. But that's a first down.
Well, it's on the line. We're going to have to measure that one.
Peter Warwick lines up in the backfield. Now he goes in motion, and they're going to call the tight end for moving. Myron Jackson, when Peter Warwick went by, moved, and that's going to cost him 5 yards.
Both flags for the dead ball, false start against the offense.
And this is just a killer. Changes the whole situation now. 1st and 5 on the 5. Now you're backed up to the 10-yard line.
Concentration. Focus. Put whatever word you like on it. But it hasn't been a dominant factor in this ball game so far.
Florida State has lost 62 yards of field position because of penalties.
They go to the shotgun now for Outson.
Quarterback draw.
Oh, yep. And look what happened. Number 22, Corey Terry, was in the neighborhood and saw this fellow wandering by in his yard, and he dropped it.
Terry is the right defensive end and is just too quick. Comes around the tackle, number 22 right there. Outson just a little bit late in getting up through the crack.
That is Tennessee's 7th tackle for a loss tonight. Their defenders are pretty obvious. 2nd down and goal. Ball is back at the 12.
Can't hear.
There's a penalty flag, and they burn the clock.
Charge timeout.
Bob Keith, Marcus Outson was behind center, yelling from the shotgun formation to get the ball back. The center obviously could not hear him. Right behind the goalpost, you can see there's just a little more orange than there is red. They're split right down the middle. He just could not, the center just could not hear, and he tried to call a timeout.
What happened about the old foot gig?
Well, yes, or a silent count. The quarterback lifts his leg, and the center sees it. Then he can snap it anytime he wants. But Outson doesn't have control of the entire offense like Weinke and Dan Kinder would have if they'd been in the ball game.
avoiding the loss when they burned the clock, stopped it just short, hand the ball into the belly of the back. Now Outson throws into the end zone, and it is beyond the field of play.
Well,
it's an incomplete forward pass.
That's a dangerous play.
Warwick was down there, but he had a whole lot of volunteers around him.
That's a dangerous play. He would just threw that ball up, and that is one of the concerns. Bobby told us yesterday, he says, I'm not afraid of Outson, meaning I have confidence in him. I'll let him do things. But when you get down here inside the 5-6 yard line, you want to throw slants or quick outs, and they're hesitant to let him do that. And then they call a play. They want to say, throw a quick out or throw it away, and then he almost puts it up for grabs.
It is third down. 14-6 ball game. Tennessee trying to fight off the Seminoles in the closing minutes of the first half. He's got daylight in the middle. Penalty flag as Outson gets down inside the 5 to about the 3.
2 men in motion, Keith.
And you had 2 people moving, and that's going to come back. So Florida State is down here knocking on the door with a chance to tie the ball game, and they have self-destructed.
Illegal shift. There were 2 men moving at the snap. The foul's against the offense.
The wide receiver was in motion across the formation, and then Outson backed up from the quarterback position before he got the snap.
So it's third down. If they decline it, then they'd have the ball down deep. So they're not going to do that. They want to make them come back.
There's too many. He just started backing up. You know, Marcus said during the Florida game, the biggest thing he wanted to do, this last game that he played, the biggest thing he wanted to do is just stay calm. He has a tendency to get overactive and overhyped, but just stay calm, and he did that. And that's what he wanted to do here.
To the end zone, no. Incomplete, intended for Warwick. And Goodrich is hurt. The man who has been shadowing Peter Warwick all night is on the ground hurt. He's just off the field of play, and he's in obvious pain.
Well, Bob and Keith, when you've got a playmaker like Peter Warwick, you want to give him the opportunity, and here in this situation, he's the right guy to go to. He's putting the ball up in the air. Now he's going to make a catch, but it's just a little bit beyond his grasp. Just a little bit beyond.
They did the right thing. Just take a shot, line up Peter outside, give him a shot by throwing in the ball. He just couldn't make the play.
Yeah, Peter fell across the back of Goodrich's leg, and that's where the damage seems to be for Dwayne Goodrich. So it's going to be fourth down and easily within the reach of the leg of Janikowski if they can get the ball set up for him. So it is the left leg or ankle where the damage is done for Goodrich. That hurts Tennessee.
That's a big loss for Tennessee, too.
He has an interception
Goodrich,
and 2 tackles.
Yeah. Yeah, defending Peter Warwick. Threw it in 5 times. He had that interception for a touchdown. Now they're carrying him off the field. They've already lost defensive tackle Green to injury.
Larry Smith is not in there.
I didn't see, Keith. Did he twist the ankle?
No, Warwick fell down across the back of his leg.
Okay.
It'll be a 35-yard field goal try now for Sebastian Janikowski as soon as they get Goodrich to the sideline and get him some comfort. 27 out of 32, big leg here. Last time we had the miscue was not his fault. It was the bad snap.
You saw the graphic there where he won the Groza Award as the nation's best kicker.
34 yards, they call it. This one's on its way, and there's plenty of leg. And it is good. So, some fireworks. Light in the sky over Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe. See those Fiesta Bowl game. And with 1:17 to play in the first half, it is now 14-9 Tennessee.
This video is going viral. Neither one of you know what viral.
From the 20. Let's see if Tennessee can crank up something here. They lead by 5 points. That's number 25, Stevens, the tailback. Brought down by Dion Humphrey.
Warwick would like to be a bigger player in this ball game. You can see right there, he's very frustrated. Talking to his team, wanting to get the ball, trying to get him fired up. It's just sometimes hard to deal with that when you're used to being the man, Keith. When you're used to getting the ball in your hands and you're used to having an opportunity to make an impact, and right now he can't have an impact in the ball game, Keith.
I can understand that. Draw play. Remember, T. Martin's got a tender ankle. That might have had something to do with that soft throw he put in the end zone a while ago, too, because it's his push-off foot. That time he could generate no start at all, and it'll be third down and about 8.5.
Just got a report that Jerry Carmichael, the offensive guard, has a torn ligament in his right knee, so he will not be back. And that hurts that offensive line.
It does.
For the Seminoles. They had to move 2 players because of the loss of Carmichael.
T. Martin has been put on the ground 11 times tonight. Not as many times as usual when you're playing Florida State. That ball going down the sidelines is caught. Peerless Price. It's touchdown. There are no flags. The longest play of the year, 79 yards.
The way you beat Florida State, the way you beat their defense is you work on the outside. You can't run the ball down the field on these guys. You make some big plays outside.
It's blocked. The extra point try is blocked. It's 20-9. Tennessee is in the lead. Guarantee you the Tempe, Phoenix area will know Rocky Top before this week is done. They all went to the same church the other day, and minister got up and apologized. Tennessee folks said, our choir couldn't learn the words to Rocky Top.
What did Bobby said, is this the rug was orange, wasn't it?
Yeah, the rug in the aisle was orange. Bobby says, is there any significance to that rug being orange?
Yep.
But both teams went to the same church, to a sanctuary, and they had a big crowd. Something like 5,000 people. High pump up. Short. Drop. Picked up. And Durden will go down at about the 28-yard line.
Let's go back to the touchdown. And beating Florida State, you don't want to attack them in here. Go outside, out here where you got single coverage, one-on-one, and take your chances. Peerless Price against Mario Edwards. He's covered. It's a hand fight, and this time Peerless Price wins the fight, and he's got the speed to take it to the house.
At the top of the show, we said that as a playmaker, 1, he was a gifted pass catcher. 2, he had great concentration. And 3, that if he doesn't catch a lot of balls, that he'd make a big play on the few he did, and that he would take a moment and try and etch an everlasting memory in their minds. I give you Peerless Price, playmaker.
Well, and he also, there was a little hand fighting going on there, and both guys were going at it, and at the right time, Price just kind of pushed off just enough to get some separation to get the ball in. Still looking at that moon over there and wondering why you didn't call it a possum hunting moon, huh?
Well, it ain't possum hunting time, that's why.
Well, I should have known.
The snow's too deep.
All right, for Florida State, they need to get the ball to their big play people. They need to get it to Pete Warwick.
On first down from the 28-yard line. Outs and back. Pressure coming. They got him. Ball loose. Tennessee's got it. Tennessee recovers the fumble. Billy Ratliff heading from the blind side. The ball came out. And that big whoosh sound was the air going out of the balloon. Ratliff comes up with the ball. It was Sean Ellis that knocked it out, I guess. And Ratliff covered it.
Take a look at the pit. Ratliff is 40. 93 is Ellis. Coming from the side there, that's Ellis. 93 just knocks it out.
He didn't feel the pressure at all, did he?
Didn't see him.
You got to feel it. Oh, that thing almost got away.
This defense for the Volunteers, they came in ranked 17th in the nation, but they were 6th in turnover margin. They had taken the ball away 33 times.
Boy, here's a chance to put a door slammer on it right here from the 28-yard line. Martin hands the ball away to Travis Stevens. And Stevens is tackled by Tay Cody.
You think that man hasn't been under pressure tonight?
Hummel is a fair word. Jared Jones is the freshman backup. He's out of Walla Walla, Washington, and he's very highly regarded. They didn't want to, they would have been happy to have redshirted him this year, but they've had to play him some. And he might get his taste of this one if Tennessee scores here. Look at that. Stevens pops out of the pile and goes down inside the 10-yard line. There are rooters. He and Henry both. They get in there and pound away, and all of a sudden they come out the other side.
You know, it's amazing what Phil Fulmer has done with this team, Keith. We mentioned losing Peyton Manning. He lost Marcus Nash to a first-round draft choice last year, wide receiver. Then he loses Jamal Lewis, the best running back that he's got, maybe the best running back in the conference, freshman All-American last year. So he just plugs in 2 new running backs, Travis Henry and Travis Stevens, and they don't miss a beat.
He also lost his longtime offensive coordinator, David Cutcliffe, who went to Ole Miss. Ball is handed inside again. This time it goes to Bryson, fullback. But Sanders goes upstairs, and they have not added a coach to the staff yet.
It's just good coaching and lots of talent, and that's what Tennessee is.
Bill Fulmer's got a new contract to sign when he gets home. Everybody talking about all the numbers. It's nobody's business what the numbers are, but you can't keep it quiet at a state university. But he's worth it.
He is certainly worth it.
That's a good play in there, but the penetration was by Billy Rhodes on Travis Stevens, and he got enough of him to make the tackle.
Well, Tennessee just doesn't want to drop the ball. If they put it on the ground and a Florida State guy picks it up, that's the only chance they've got. The worst thing you want to do if you're a Volunteer is just kick a field goal here. Just take care of the ball and don't drop it.
3rd down and goal from the 8-yard line. Stevens will get down for a yard or so. Brian Allen on that tackle. Now here comes Jeff Hall. Jeff Hall missed one tonight from 33 yards.
This young man's quite a guy, Keith. You mentioned his 4-time SEC All-Kicker. He's a captain. How many times is a kicker a captain on the team?
Not many.
He's a member of the...
He's from Winchester, Tennessee. I wonder if that's got something to do with it. That's where Phil Fulmer is.
He's a good young man. He's on the Good Works team, the American Football Coaches Association Good Works team. Does a lot in the community.
23-yard field goal try. Boy, this is big. Good. The Tennessee Volunteers, who last won a national championship consensus vote 1951. Last undefeated season was 1938. A fellow named Nealon was involved in both those. They'd never won 12 games before in a season. They look right now like they're going to win 13 this year. Pop up. They don't want them giving that big return. They pop it up like that and they get good coverage. But if you break that kind of coverage, man, you've got a big play. Reggie Durden can't break it, and here's the penalty flag. Referee threw that one, so somebody popped somebody, I think. Bill jumped it real quick. There's Peerless.
Peerless is a good receiver, Keith, but a wide receiver with number 37, just why would you keep number 37? How would you get it to begin with? Probably, I mean, that fullback, third string fullback should wear number 37. Stop it. I mean, no, I'm serious. I mean, maybe they gave it to you as a freshman. But when you make this traveling squad, or when you make the starting, you get yourself a good number like 88 or 82.
Well, that's a good number, Bob. 88, 82 would be good.
I know.
Yeah.
Not 37. That looks maybe he likes to make everybody thinks he's slow or something.
Well, he was probably in a different position.
Running back, but not a third string fullback. Out of the shotgun now. Ball snapped low, and it bounces off of Outson's knee. Came back low and hard, and they're fighting over it. And it's going to remain in the possession of Florida State.
Florida State in the second half, Keith, has just not done a thing. They've had the ball 6 times. They've had 5 punts and the 1 fumble. And
got a new center. That's why. Yeah. Eric Thomas is it.
You look at Marcus Outson, and truthfully, Chris Weinke is going to probably be the starter next year. This may be the last game that Marcus Outson starts at Florida State University.
This time Thomas delivers it on the numbers, and Outson is running. He's covered again. Now they probably call this one down. I have asked that question. In fact, I asked the guys before the game about fumbles occurring when people have a knee down or both knees down, as we've seen a couple of times. And they said it's probably been something of an overreaction because of the change by the Rules Committee to give a little more authenticity to loose balls rather than just make it an automatic down call. And they didn't express any particular joy over having to make one more judgment call either. It's difficult. Outson rolls to buy a little time, trying to find somebody. Better let it go, Marcus, or you're going to get killed. Throws it too high and out of bounds. And there's a penalty flag. Al Wilson's mad on a Hornet. He's jumping up and down. There are 2 flags down there. So
he had Warwick open, but he only had 1 shoe on.
By the defense. Pass interference against the offense. Receiver was downfield blocking. Those penalties will offset. Replay the down.
There's Pete. I'd get the ball to him any chance I could.
Lost his shoe.
Florida State needs 2 touchdowns to even have a chance in this thing, Keith. They got to get the ball to Warwick, and maybe just on a wide receiver screen, just a stop pattern.
Well, Bobby scrimmaged his team hard, and in the course of it, he lost a good player, a great tackle in Larry Smith. But they really banged each other. Tennessee, on the hand, didn't do that much banging.
They did some, but
not that much. Florida State. I mean, the Noles really went after it to get themselves in shape. Outson's pass down the middle. He's got Durkins, and he's got some room. And he's down inside the 10, down to about the 7-yard line before he is brought down by Raynoch Thompson. Linebacker's not going to cover Durkins.
Dugans is out here. He's just going to slide down the middle of the field, and Outson's going to buy some time. Warwick is on the outside. Dugans comes back for it and makes a nice play.
For Warwick, too high. That was one where he could have drilled it and probably completed it.
It's a tough night for Pete Warwick. He came in with 61 receptions on the year, 12 touchdowns.
His career high tonight, 6 catches for Dugans and 135 yards. He's a junior, got another year. Got a hole up the middle for Outson. Touchdown. Marcus Outson just squeezes it out, and it's a touchdown for Seminoles. Will Overstreet objecting. Will thought he had him down, but not so.
Well, all those volunteers that were celebrating in the stands just kind of got their attention again. A 14-point lead. As knee was down. Knee was down before he was in the end zone.
Point's good. 3 minutes and 42 seconds to play in the ball game. That is the Sears National Champion Trophy, awaiting the winner. Crystal. A symbol. A treasure.
You get 3 minutes and 42 seconds to play. Keith, I don't think you do the onside kick. You got the best defense in the nation that's been kind of dented here tonight. I think you kick it deep.
There you go. The other way. Did it go?
And they got the ball.
Janikowski, the kicker, went down and covered it.
Tennessee was ready. They had their good hands team up there, but they didn't react to the ball.
It went across the 45, didn't it? I think there's some discussion about it. But where did he touch it? I'm not certain that ball was across the 45-yard line.
It was a good kick, and it looked good to me. It went 10 yards. The other Seminoles went ahead of him to block the receiving team. It went 10 yards. It didn't touch anybody.
Touched the ball before it went 10 yards. The result of the play is to accept it at the spot of touching. First down.
Didn't think so.
Well, let's see it again. Maybe it did hit him.
First and 10 at the Florida State 42.
Let's see it again.
There's a kick.
May have hit him right there.
Right there.
Yeah, may have hit him right there.
Well, let it go. I think it hit him. I'm pretty sure it hit him.
Yeah, that must be what it was.
Looked like it hit him on the hip.
Yeah, it looked like, from that angle, it looked like it may have touched him.
Janikowski was really upset. He thought he had him a play. It didn't work that way. Tennessee starts with the ball now at the Florida State 42-yard line. And T. Martin will throw. And the pass is completed to Sean Bryson out of the backfield. And he's got 9 yards on the play.
Good call by Randy Sanders in the booth up here doing his first game. You just can't sit back and run the ball on this, Keith. They got 3 timeouts left. You got to move the ball. Third down conversions, you've only made 1 of 10. Tennessee has, so you want to do it on first down before they get you on third.
Second and short. 3 minutes to play in the game. They try for the first down with Travis Henry. 23-16. Tennessee lead.
We've had everything in this, haven't we? We've had missed extra points.
We've had everything but beauty.
Missed field goals, defensive scores, long pass, everything except beauty is right.
And Mickey ready to bite nails. Ball is on the 33-yard line. It is third down. They need a yard. Tennessee is going to take a timeout. They have 2 remaining. Florida State has all 3 remaining. And the time remaining, as you can see there, is now 2:17.
What was Bobby Bowden and Mickey Andrews talking to Peter Warwick about? I mean, they went over and Mickey had his arm around Pete like he was going to put him in a defensive back.
Third down and a yard if they can pick it up here and get 4 more snaps. I want to tell you a story about George Cafico. Oh, I don't think they got it.
No way.
Penetration by Florida State. Jerry Johnson just bowled his way through there.
Number 56, Roman Seymour.
Seymour's the man that made the tackle, but Johnson just disrupted the entire offensive right side of the line. They'll bring the chains out. It'll be close.
It'd be about a 50-yard field goal if they went that way.
That's a good yard. A good yard.
Either a 50-yard field goal or you go for it on 4th down. This is the calls that Phil Fulmer make. Randy Sanders in the booth doesn't make this one. Phil decides what he wants to do. Jeff Hall is money in the 4th quarter and overtime. His longest field goal on the year, Jeff Hall, is 47 yards. He kicked a winner against Syracuse in the first game of the year and had a winning field goal against Florida in overtime in the second game.
They're going 4th and maybe even a little more than a yard. Martin throws. It's completed. It's a first down to Sean Bryson out of the backfield. All the way down to the 10. He stepped out of bounds on the 11.
Ball game there. Nice call. Randy Sanders making a nice call.
That thumping sound was the door closing.
Bill Fulmer says, I got a lot of confidence in Randy Sanders. He can do the job.
Bill Fulmer went to see George Cafico, who is an absolute legend in Tennessee football history. And about two days before he passed away, and George said to Phil, good luck, I'll be watching. Good night, George, and thanks. Because nobody's name rests higher in Tennessee football history than George Cafico. All loose. Florida State's got it. Henry went into the line and lost the football.
He never had it. He never had it from the exchange. It was a fumble right from the get-go.
1:29 to play.
Look at that. Never
had the hold of it.
Never
Ryan
had
Allen
it.
covers it.
In a critical time with a minute and a half left in the game, how can you miss the exchange? It's got to drive Randy crazy. It's just a safe call.
You see something like that, Bob, and you say, what in the world is somebody want to coach?
That's the 4th turnover.
Well, let's see what the Rooster can do. Lets it go big down the middle. Lavernus Coles is under it. The ball is intercepted. Steve Johnson. And that will do it. Johnson and Grant were down on double coverage. The ball was popping around, and Johnson came down with it. Coles really never had a chance at it.
Just a straight takeoff on both sides, and he just threw it up. Got a 3-man rush, 8 men dropping back in zone. There you see it, double coverage. The chances of that ball being picked off are pretty good. Nice job by Johnson, keeping his eyes up.
Well, Bobby just took off the headset shortly after that.
If he could have won a national championship with a 3rd-string quarterback, he's a magician.
Been an incredible achievement. It really would have. This is T. Martin sliding to a stop after picking up about 3 yards. Tennessee had all 2 timeouts remaining. It was 1951. They won their last championship. The man at the helm was named Nealon. Well, I've got a moment here. I want to tell you about the people who do the work on these ball games. Coordinating producer of ABC's College Football is Tony Tortorisi. Today's game produced by Jay Rothman, directed by Chip Dean, associate producer Margaret Schaefer, Fred King, associate director Derek Mobley, assistants to the producer Chapman Downs, Braven Martin, both of them wearing ties today. Production executives Bob Brolnick and Lenny Nathan. Production manager Joe Alvarado, Mike Heskett, Chris Schachter. Tech ops managers Jay Gleason, Roger Williams, Jim Licata. Our statistician Mark Ameno. Thank you, Mark. Our spotter Kelly Hayes. Thank you, Kel. Computer stats Craig Rothberg. The pregame and halftime report produced by Charles Copeland, directed by Calvin Haywood. Associate producer Tim Weinke, feature producer Natalie Jarwitt, associate director Vince DiDario, old friend Vince, assistant to the producer Brian Hennessy. Tennessee now just wants to run out the clock and put this one away. And so we go into the final minute of the inaugural national championship football game. And I want to say to my friend Bob Greasy, who company I've had for 12 years on these telecasts. No one who's ever been for athletes I ever had the pleasure of watching. Bob, of course, the great quarterback at Purdue, and all of these people represent the very best. And as I said a little while ago, my cup will always be half full, but I would close with just a very simple old comment that Sir Winston Churchill once used when he said, "I am easily satisfied with the very best."
You were the best. You know, at the end of the game, at the end of the season, they get the water bath. The coaches do that. And I figured at the end of a very successful career, it would only be fitting.
No.
It would only be fitting.
You're not going to do that.
Huh?
I've been sick.
It would only be fitting. Huh? It was a vote. It was a vote of 4-3, water versus paper.
Well, Keith, you know, I've played football, and you've been up in the booth covering me and the teams I've played on. I want to tell you that I'm going to miss you greatly. Not to get too serious about your departure, but, you know, to me, you embody the credibility of the game. You've always carried it well on your shoulders, and I appreciate everything you've done for me personally and everything you've meant to this game of football. Thank you very much.
Oh, Swanee, thank you. And thank all of you who've endured all the nonsense and all the mistakes and all of that across the years. And the young men who play the game, and this one has been a little bit ragged here and there, but how much fun has it been to have seen the fathers play and now see the sons play in the Rose Bowl? George Farmer, for example, games that I did when George played at UCLA, and his uncle Dave, and to see Danny Farmer the other day playing like he played. Those kind of things are special. and will go on and live. And I only wish all of those involved with the Grand Old Game the very best. You know, the first game, Bob, people think of things, and the first game was on radio in 1952 at Washington State, then college. That's the school that produced the same radio station that Edward R. Murrow came from. Several people. And that football game was 14-13. Stanford won. And in the backfield for Stanford that day was a fellow named Bob Mathias, who won 2 Olympic gold medals in the decathlon. Went on to be a congressman. Now lives quietly in California. And, you know, to have watched you and lived with you last year when you and your son had that glorious time. That's something you will never forget. And to watch Phil Fulmer, who comes from Winchester, Tennessee. He played at Tennessee. He's lived there all of his life. He will live there all of his life. And he now has security, and his football team has won a national championship. And it's fun to see. And I congratulate him. Bobby Bowden, of course, is a longtime legend, and he too will congratulate Phil Fulmer, because the Tennessee Volunteers felt they might very well be a team of destiny. They talked about it quietly, discussed it with the kind of respect that you had to have for it, and they've won 13 games. They have lost none, and they've stood up to every challenge, and they came out of the blocks at the very start of the season, almost losing at Syracuse, and pulled it out against Arkansas, against Mississippi State.
Beat Florida for the first time in 5 years.
Probably was the biggest thing that happened to them and really got them going. And so it is done. The Tennessee Volunteers have defeated the Florida State Seminoles 23-16.
Now, T, I'm on the slide behind you here. Let me get on this side, T, for a second. Coach, what goes along with the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl trophy is another trophy that's been almost 50 years that Tennessee had a shot to win. Here with us from Sears Roebuck and Company is the president, Dan Laughlin, to make the presentation of the Sears National Champion Trophy.
Sure, Alan, the captain's on. Coach, on behalf of Sears and the 300,000 associates nationwide, I'd like, and the American Football Coaches Association, I'd like to present to you, your team, and the University of Tennessee, the Sears National Football Championship Trophy. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I want to say on behalf of our football team, a special thank you to the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. They were incredible hosts. I want to say an unbelievable thank you to the crowd of Tennessee loyal volunteers. I want to say a special thank you also to this group of seniors that have been incredible leaders for our football team throughout the year. And to Sears, thank you. It's been 47 years since Tennessee football has brought one of these home. We've got a special place for it. Thank you very much.
So Philip Fulmer has been validated. He is now among the legends that have spent their time at the foot of the Smokies. Congratulations. Final score, Tennessee 23, Florida State 16.